and Legon Cities. It began on Friday with the host team Samatex beating Nsoatreman by 4-0 and Legon Cities suffering in a 5-1 defeat against Nations FC. Then yesterday, the second day, also produced some really exciting action. It was the first game between Nsoatreman and Legon Cities, and it was a 5-star performance from Nsoatreman. They beat Legon Cities by 5-1. And the second game was between Nations FC and Samatex. It failed to produce a winner in open play as it ended 1-1. It was expected to be decided on penalty shootout in the event that the two teams tie on the final day. And guess what? The penalty shootout also failed to produce a winner. It ended 10-10. So we're in and we're ready for the final day. The first game of the day is between Nsoatreman and Nations FC. Then the second game will be between Samatex and Legon Cities. Wherever you are, a pleasant welcome to our coverage of the Nsenkyire 2024 Cup live on Max TV and Green Gold TV. My name is Nana Dakwa Jesse. I'm your commentator for this game as Nations FC warm up and build up for the game. On your screen is first choice goalkeeper Kofi Mensah. Now captain of the side Simpson is walking them through the warm-up exercise ahead of the commencement of the game here in Samraboy. Very fine facility here in Samraboy, but unfortunately Samatex can't use this venue for the African Champions League campaign. They opted for the Accra Sports Stadium, which has been approved by the Confederation of African Football. So they would have to wait till this venue gets the approval in the future. But we're ready for the game. It's between Nations and Nsoatreman, live on Max TV and Green Gold TV. It's the 2024 Nsenkyire Cup. Nations in their blue outfit and Nsoatreman in their dominant green and yellow jerseys here this afternoon. Both coaches have made significant changes to the teams that played in yesterday's second round of matches, especially that of Nsoatreman. Nations have kept with a consistent shape and a lineup for this afternoon's game. They made changes at left and right back and also introduced Richard Beko into the fray. Nsoatreman are parading Daniel Afaju, Isaka Mohammed, Ebenezer Nsenkyire, Shaibu Idrisu at left back, Kunedu Ajiman at the right back. There's David Amu in midfield alongside Michael Aka, Adumi Aboa, Stephen Diu, Kwabne Dumeda on the wings with Abdul Rahman, the hat-trick hero from yesterday's game, leading the attack for the Confederations Cup representatives. So it is Emmanuel Ankra who has made way for Ebenezer Nsenkyire in that central defense.
Let's go here. Touch,
Nations of Kofi Mensah, Victor Odro, Asante Bwine, Razak Simpson, Abdul Karim, Kelvin Ampofo, Prince Aqua, Nafiu Sulemana, Richard Beckham, Boris, and Kwamboachi, who is playing from left back. It's been an all-play, all competition, ensuring that everybody gets to face the other before the final day and the wrap-up of the competition. So all the sets were battle ready. Nsoatreman up against Nations for their third game and final game of the Nsenkyire Cup 2024. Here is Daniel Amu, Shaibu Idrisu. Here is Isaka. DU is trying to find Rahman, but Kofi Mensah is already out to collect it for Nations. Razak Simpson to Kwame Boachi. Ball gets to know Nations players. Amu finds Nsenkyire. Back to Amu, he gives the ball away. Here is Nafiu Sulemana. Odro wants it on the right side. Nafiu finds Odro. Odro sends a cross in. Nations recollect possession, and here finds Kelvin Ampofo. Loses possession. Kunedu Ajiman goes all the way back to Nsenkyire, who finds Isaka. Here's Shaibu Idrisu, the former Iduana Stars left back. He finds DU. Back to Idrisu. Daniel Amu. Isaka Mohammed is scanning the pitch looking for options, and he finds Nsenkyire. Nsenkyire gradually warming himself into this Nsoatreman team after joining a few days ago. Kunedu Ajiman to Ebenezer Nsenkyire. Gives away possession now. Kelvin Ampofo will step up for Nations. Now Beckham on the left side. He's up against Kunedu Ajiman. Good run from Beckham. He shows great desire. Ampofo is behind him. He goes in with a cross, but Nsenkyire is up for it. Here is Daniel Amu. He's got Maida on the right. He goes solo. Goes down from the challenge of Kwame Boachi. Referee doesn't see any wrong in that. Here's Aqua. Abdul Karim, the MVP from yesterday's game, trying to find Nafiu Sulemana, but it's not a good pass enough to On the right side is looking for Maida. Here's Kwabne Edu Maida. Kunedu Ajiman. Maida wanted it. Ajiman has kept it and found Nsenkyire. Fouled by Boris. Free kick for Nsoatreman. Nsenkyire was trying to create some space on that right side. Isaka with the ball on the left looking for DU, but Odro arrives to clear the ball away for a throw into Nations. Not sure he dealt with it the manner in which he intended to. Rahman bits into it. Here is Odro. Sulemana stopped by Idrisu. Here is Shaibu Idrisu. Now Stephen DU. Up against Odro. DU wants to cut in. Now Daniel Amu. The flick from Maida is cleared away by Simpson. Now it's Boris. Good control from Boris. To the right looking for Nafiu Sulemana. He's got Idrissa to contend with. Here is Nafiu. He checks back and wants support. Aqua arrives, but Nafiu keeps it. He goes all the way back to Odro. Now Abdul Karim back to Odro. Is a foul against Nsoatreman. Nafiu Sulemana is brought down by Shaibu Idrisu. Odro gave him the pass. He tried to flick it past Idrisu, who caught him late with that challenge. Resultant free kick. Shaibu Idrisu. Isaka. Afaju finds Nsenkyire trying to advance forward with Kunedu Ajiman providing the outlet on the right side. Nsenkyire goes long and Simpson has the ball down. Is a throw into Nsoatreman. Kunedu Ajiman takes it. Trying to find Rahman. Again, it's Simpson who tries to get the ball, but Rahman sends it across. Cleared away by Odro, throwing Nsoatreman. Kunedu with a cross, a header by Daniel. That was a header by Adom. Michael Aka, one of those new midfielders introduced by Yao Preku for this competition. It's a foul. Aka brought down right in the middle of the park. I mean, it's a Nsenkyire. Then Nsoatreman centre back finds Maida. Gives it away to Abdul Karim. Amu. Good play from Nsoatreman. Now Shaibu Idrisu. Onto the left hand is DU. Unable to keep the ball in is a throw. Good ball from Adum to find Maida. Maida has got Kunedu Ajiman on the right. Good burst of pace by Maida. Good control. Sends a cross away by Asante Boyne for Nations. Now Amu. Kunedu Ajiman. Good play from the right back. It is still Ajiman. Adum. Kunedu Ajiman switches back to Maida. Good play from Nsoatreman. Maida with a low cross. Ball falls to Kredu Ajiman. He whips in the ball, but it's blocked by Kwamboache. It falls back to Maida. Throw it. Isaka. Here is Maida, who has gone in and left Ajman on the right side. He's got the pace, but certainly can't get to it. Too much on it for Kredu Ajman. So Maida is cutting in and Kredu is taking on the wings. And when they do that, they double up and it's become a problem for Kwame Boache to deal with. That was reckless from Daniel Amu. Now Beko takes all the nations. Great play from Beko. He hangs on and shows great strength. Now Boris. Boache can't get to it and Maida kicks it out for a throw. Here is Beko. Richard Beko. Stopped by Kredu Ajiman. Here is Rahman. Scored a hat-trick in yesterday's game against CTs. It is still Rahman. On the right side, he's got Simpson to beat. Rahman sends a cross. And DU is not arriving in time to connect. He certainly can't get to it. It's a throw-in. Isaka, DU, stopped by Odro. And DU brings down Odro, free kick for Nations. Trip from behind by the Nsoatreman number 10, Stephen DU. Mensah's ball headed back by Shaibu Idrisu. Here is DU, finds Rahman, trying to get back to DU. DU with a cross, and it's the first goal. It's a beautiful goal. And Nsoatreman have jumped into the lead Nations FC by 1 goal. Goal scored by Michael Balak Aka. Michael Aka, look at the build-up. Good thinking from Rahman to set up DU. DU with a brilliant cutback, and Nations failing to deal with a run of Michael Aka, and they are in the lead. And Nsoatreman jump into the lead. Good play from DU and Rahman. Great understanding, the cutback, the awareness, the tap in. 1-0 in Nsoatreman. Lovely control from DU to begin with. Great composure from Rahman, and the presence of mind to bring it back for Michael Aka to slot in is just awesome. Nations will be thinking, how did they defend recklessly like that? Maida. Now Kwame Boache to Richard Beko. Beko tries the back heel, but the goal scorer fights for the ball. Michael Aka. Here is Kelvin Ampofo. Aka, DU, lovely dummy. Now Shaibu Idrisu, he's got a lot of space up front. Rahman is lurking in the middle. He tries to find DU. DU approaches the ball and shakes off the challenge from Odro, but the flag goes up for offside against DU. It's a surprise call. The benefit of the replay will give us a fair idea, but that's DU straight offside. No questions. Aqua, Ampofo. Here is Kwame Boachi, the former RTU left back, playing ahead of William Abrakwa this afternoon. Now Aqua, beaten to the ball by Amu. Now Kunedu. Nsoatreman. Michael Akatu Maida. Kunedu back to Nsoatreman. He finds support from his goalkeeper Afaju. Now Stephen DU turns around and finds Shaibu Idrisu. Idrisu with a cross, but there's nobody for Nations. But eventually Maida pops up on the left. Here is Maida. He's up against Kwame Boachi. Goes back to Kunedu Ajimanu, swings in a cross. And DU heads it down. Rahman is getting there, but Simpson proves to be the stronger of the two as he gets the ball away to Beko. Aqua. Abdul Karim. Sulemana has made a run on the right. Now he gets the ball. Nafiu Sulemana all the way back to Odro. Here's Abdul Karim. Now Simpson. It's a good ball to Boris, but there's a poor touch from Boris as Nsoatreman will take over. It's Maida. It's a counter-attack that can result in a second goal. Kwabne Edu Maida, does he score? Sets up Rahman. That's some good defending from Odro to deny Nsoatreman the second goal. Kwabne Edu Maida decided to be unselfish. Good run from the winger. He had Rahman in the middle. The goalkeeper at his mercy. He tries to set up Rahman. He could have gone for goal, but Odro arrived at the right place at the right time to clear the danger. Corner for Nsoatreman. Odro had to double up to clear the danger. Corner taken by DU. He finds Isaka. DU. Isaka. Daniel Amu calls for it. He's got Kunedu Ajiman. Tries to pick out DU. It turns out to be a very good ball to DU, who stays onside. DU is up against Odro. Does the step over. DU. He wants support, but Odro retrieves possession for Nations. Throw in for the Abrankesi base side. Asante Boyne composed and finds Abdul Karim. Now Boris. Ampofo. Beko. He's got Kunedu Ajiman to contend with. He finds Aqua. Back to Beko. Here comes Ampofo. Goes back to Simpson. Now Beko. Brought down by Amu. Free kick Nations. Beko was trying to get the ball past Amu, who showed him the resistance from the tackle. Isaka to Adom. Aqua. has fouled Maida. Free kick for Nsoatreman. The late challenge on Maida by Prince Aqua. Asante Boyne to Kofi Mensah, who clears the ball away. It ends up with Nsenkyire. He's aiming at DU. DU brings it down calmly on his chest. Here is DU up against Odro. DU with a ball in, but it goes to Simpson for Nations. Now Boris. He got Suleimana on the right side. Here is Nephew Suleimana. Abdul Karim. Aqua. Ampofo. Karim. Beko. Nsoatreman have all their men behind the ball, but for Abdul Rahman. Odro returns it to Asante Boyne. Likely to go to his goalkeeper. Yes, he does. Simpson provides an outlet for Mensah. Here is Asante Boyne. That's what to skip past DU and find Odro. Asante Boyne will have to battle for that position with Gripman. Last season, he competed for that position together with Michael Mensah, who has joined Hearts of Oak. And this season, Kasim Mingle has brought in Gripman to provide competition in central defense. What Maida is doing is that he's driving Kwame Boachi to the middle and providing the space for Ajman on the left side. Here's Kwame Boachi. Rahman shows desire, but the ball goes out. Now Daniel Amu. Maida. Nsoatreman have a player down. As the goal scorer, Michael Aka, caught by that late tackle. Here is Asante Boyne, the centre back. Tries to find Suleimana, ball cleared back by Shaibu Idrisu, controlled by Rahman. Tries to fight DU, but Odro steps up again and prevents DU from reaching the ball. He's ended up conceding a throw in Odro. Odro joined Nations last season after the expiration of his contract at Dreams FC. He also competed for that right-back position with Inan Boyne last season. There's been uncertainty about the future of Inan Boyne, whether he stays with Nations or he moves elsewhere next season. Talks about Kotoko engaging him has been in the media for some time, but it's not materialized till date. Watch it to Ampofo. Here is Boyne. Abdul Karim to Nephew Suleimana. Heads it down for Aqua. Tries to get to Nephew again down the right side. Nephew sends in a cross, but Afaju with some sharp reflexes deals with it for Nsoatreman. DU to Rahman. Brought down by Boahin. This should be a yellow card. It certainly must be a yellow card. It is a yellow card for Asante Boahin. Reckless tackle from the centre back. Good ball from DU. The touch from Rahman and the tackle. Very, very reckless. Free kick for Nsoatreman, saving DU to take it. And DU sends the ball in, grabbed by Kofi Mensah. No problems for the nation's goalie. He sends one in looking for Boris, but Nsenkyire arrives with a clever back pass. He goes to Afaju. Knedu Ajiman tries to find Rahman. He's up against Simpson. Here is Rahman. He assisted the first goal and he scored a brilliant goal. From nowhere, Abdul Rahman makes it 2-0 for Nsoatreman. The idea was about crossing the ball, but he ended up putting it at the back of the net. Great thinking. Was he aiming to score or he was aiming to cross? I think he was aiming to cross. He ended up in the goal, but he won't mind. It's a fine goal in the end. Nsoatreman doubled their lead through Abdul Rahman. He scored a hat-trick yesterday, and he scored from the near post. Kofi Mensah should be doing better. So the goalkeeper had come out of his line. He spotted him, but he should be doing better from the near post, Kofi Mensah. 2-0 for Nsoatreman. Abdul Rahman, the second goal scorer. He scored a hat-trick yesterday, and he's added his name onto the score sheet again today. It's a tall order for Nations FC now. 2-0 down. Afaju finds Mohamed Isaka. Isaka to Shaibu Idrisu. Steven DU. Poor touch from DU, but Isaka steps up, has the ball down. Ojo pushed from behind by Adum. Free kick for Nations. That's the push right behind Ojo by Adumia Boa. Daniel Amu. Kunedu. Saturates late for the ball. The Nations have a throw in taken by Boache, headed away by Isaka. Now the goal scorer, Rahman, can't keep the ball in. As a throw in taken quickly by Boache to Asante Boahin. Karim to Simpson. The former Liberty Professionals player is trying to get to Suleimana. Abdul Karim has lost it. Here is Adumia Boa, now DU. That's all to get back to Adumia Boa, now Daniel Amu. Isaka. All the way back to Daniel Afaju. Nsenkyire provides the outlet. Here's Ebenezer Nsenkyire. Now Maida. Gun City's winger, very skillful and pacey. Good interception from Beko. Ample for his foul. Free kick for Nations. Abdulrahman for Nsoatreman. Onto the part of Kwabne Maida. Maida has got the captain, but we get to see whether the entire circumference of the ball did cross the line. Yes, it did cross the line. It crossed the line. It's a good call. This was very obvious. Beku brought down by Amu. Free kick for Nations. Referee Clement Kwame having a word with Daniel Amu after his outburst following the decision against him. Asante Boyne. Aqua fails to control Amu. DU gives possession to Prince Aqua. Aqua to nephew Sulemana. Sulemana swings in across. Boris is lurking, but Kunedu arrives. Good play from the right back. That's confident play from Kunedu Ajiman. And Nsenkyire gets it away. Simpson beats Rahman to it. Here's Karim. Simpson. Beku beats into it. Aka, now Maida. Kunedu Ajiman. Kwabne Maida. Abdulrahman. Good hold up play from the striker, but he wins the throw-in from the final touch of the nation's defender. DU brings it down for Abdulrahman. Back to Stephen DU. DU's cross blocked by Simpson. Abdulrahman traps it down for DU, a cutback, and Asante Boy nearly conceding an own goal. It's a corner for Nsoatreman. They are piling pressure on Nations. It nearly hit the back of his own net. So that ended up from Asante Boy. It's a corner. Michael Aka to take the corner, and Aka kicks the ball over the lines for a goal kick. Boyne. Boris has been cut frustrated because the supplies are not coming. He's often tempted to drift into the midfield and pick up the balls, but it's also not working. But here goes DU. Tracking him is Odro. It's DU. He cuts Odro out. DU brings the ball back. He went down, but it was a fair challenge in the end. And a throw-in did not happen for Nsoatreman. It is still DU. Shaibu Idrisu, poor touch, throw-in, Nations. DU space is his major asset. He cut Odro in, but Odro did want to recover with that tackle, very timely from the right back. And Odro has gone down after that tackle. The nation's medical team on the field to hand him first aid treatment. And the entire nation's FC bench are warming up for possible inclusions. On their bench they have Ivan Ejiman, Ejeni Boatin, Raymond Oko-Gripman, Prince Arthur, Richard Danso, Ebenezer Ofe, Prince Bedu, Kwejo Mankwa, Sadiq Al-Hassan, Brema Ba, and Ibrahim Adams. They are on the bench for Nations this afternoon. Section of the fans here at the Nsenkyire Stadium to witness the final day of this 2024 Nsenkyire Cup. Abdul Karim to Suleimana. Heckled by Adumi Aboa, free kick for Nations. Poor touch from Kelvin Ampofo. Now Michael Aka tries to pick out DU. The flag is up for DU. Offside. Nsoatreman lead Nations by 2-0. Kofi Mensah. Rahman. But Mensah is calm on the ball. Doesn't struggle to deal with it. Nations are struggling to keep the ball and possess to create problems for Nsoatreman, who have seen a lot of the ball than Nations. Odro's clearance. Adumi Aboa gives away the ball to Abdul Karim. Kwame Boache is racing forward down the left side. Maida with a touch, throw in. Lovely play from Adumi Aboa. He puts the ball through and Michael Aka, but that's a good tackle from Asante Boyne. Good defending from the centre back. He had to be there. I've seen him limping and holding his waist after that tackle. Nafi Suleimana has got the pace, but Isaka has got the strength and the experience, and he wins the ball at the expense of the winger. Shaibu unable to keep it. Now Aqua, Ampofo, good fight by Daniel Amu. Now he's tearing away. That's what to turn around and hang on to possession. Now Rahman. DU and Nsoatreman are playing really impressively. They are calm on the ball, composed, and they play really well. DU. Amu, impressive play from Nsoatreman. The fans are applauding their effort. Abdul Rahman to Shaibu Idrisu. Idrisu sends in a cross and Maida can't connect. Decision has gone against Nsoatreman, but what a sweet build-up. Good ball from Abdul Rahman to put Shaibu, but Maida just couldn't make it count. I told you about Asante Boyne and how he suffered from the tackle he went in with a couple of minutes ago. Isaka. DU gets back to Isaka. Back to DU. Poor ball from Adumia Boa. Shaibu Idrisu's cross nearly found the back of the net for the third time. It was Michael Aka who arrived at the near post with that tap. Look at his movement. See how he went in front of Simpson. Dominant display by Nsoatreman. Simpson to take as we approach the end of the first half. Nsoatreman leading Nations FC by 2-0 on the final day of the 2024 Nsenkyire Cup. Here is Asante Boahin to Aqua. Back to Boahin. Good confidence. Now Simpson to Kwame Boache down the left side. Kwame Boache has got Beku and Boris. He decides to go to Beku, but Boris thought he was a better option. Ball goes out for a throw, for a goal kick. Kwame Boache not on the same page with the attackers. He joined from RTU last season. It's Shaibu Idrisu on the left side. He puts one through looking for DU. It's a good stop by Odro. His defensive awareness is very commendable. Victor Odro. Now Isaka wants to take the initiative. Rahman beaten to it by Ampofu. Now Setre to Idrisu. Good ball to DU down the left side. Here is Steven DU. Swings across. Back to Idrisu. Now DU. Good skill to get to Sulemana. Wins it from Shaibu. Now Aqua for Nations. Kwame Boache, Richard Beku, he's up against Kunedu Ajiman. Beku cuts in. He's giving the ball away cheaply. Adum looking for Maida. It's Abdul Rahman who pops up. Rahman can't get to Maida. It is Simpson whose presence. That's the trick for Nations in defense. Now Boahin. Abdul Karim to Sulemana, who does well to keep it in. Abdul Karim hangs on to the ball, but the final pass finds nobody in blue for Nations. The first half is almost up. Now Maida. Nsoatreman to Nsenkyire. Returns the ball to Daniel Afaju. He's aiming at Maida, but Kwame Boakye rises up, heads the ball, calmly controlled by Simpson. He returns it to Mensah. We're doing 2 additional minutes. First 45 minutes up already now. Rahman hands possession to Ampofo. Abdul Karim. Suleimana flex it to Odro. Throw in for Nations as DU blocks the pass from Odro. Asante Boyne returns the ball to Kofi Mensah. Is our coverage of the 2024 Nsenkyire Cup at the Nsenkyire Stadium in Samra. Nations down by 2 goals. Is a foul against Nsoatreman. Very harsh challenge on Kwame Boakye. Kwame's up and is fit and ready to continue for Nations. Razak Simpson's delivery. He goes low, but ball is intercepted by Maida. Asante Boyne is up against Rahman, who has got a strength. It is still Rahman. He wants to use his space to advantage. It's a clever tackle by Asante Boyne. Corner. The second time he's going in with a tackle like this in the game, Asante Boyne. That's a clever tackle from the centre back. But he's come up the worst after that tackle. Maida to take the corner. Went to the second minute of stoppage time. Maida's corner, headed away by Ampofo. Aqua clears, headed by Beko. Aqua, good play from Prince Aqua. Goes down from the challenge of Amu. Referee whistles, and he takes the decision in favor of Nations. There's a foul. Daniel Amu holding the shoulder of Aqua and pulling him down. That's a halftime whistle at the Nsenkyire Stadium. 3rd day of the 2024 Nsenkyire Cup. Nations FC down by 2 goals to 0. Nations won their first game on match day 1 against Legon Cities by 5 goals to 1. They drew with the host team Samatex 1-1 in open play and 10-10 in penalties yesterday. And on the 3rd day, they are down by 2 goals to 0 against the Confederations Cup campaigners. Goals scored by Michael Balak Aka and Abdul Rahman, the hat-trick hero from yesterday's game. Half-time at the Nsenkyire Stadium in Samra. Nations 0 and Nsoatreman 2.
Dazo.
But we're ready for the game. It's between Nations and Nsoatreman, live on Max TV and Gringo TV. It's the 2024 Nsenkyire Cup. Nations India. They made changes at left and right back. Here is Daniel Amu, Shaibu Idrisu, Kofi Mensah finds Asante Boyne. Here is Abdul Karim, he gives the ball away. Now Abdul Rahman drives one and Mensah deals with it. Good instinct from the striker, Rahman. Mensa's ball headed back by Shaibu Idrisu. Here is DU, finds Rahman, trying to get back to DU. DU with a cross, and it's the first goal. It's a beautiful goal. And Nsoatreman have jumped into the lead Nations FC by 1 goal. Goal scored by Michael Aka. Look at the build-up. Good thinking from Rahman to set up DU. DU with a brilliant cutback, and Nations failing to deal with a run of Michael Aka, and they are in the lead. And Nsoatreman jump into the lead. Good play from DU and Rahman. Great understanding, the cutback, the awareness, the tap in. 1-0 in Nsoatreman. Lovely control from DU to begin with. Great composure from Rahman, and the presence of mind to bring it back for Michael Aka. Now Stephen DU turns around and finds Shaibu Idrisu. Idrisu with a cross, but there's nobody for Nations. But eventually Maida pops up on the left. Here is Maida. He's up against Kwame Boache. Goes back to Kunedu Ajiman, who swings in a cross. And DU heads it down. Rahman is getting there, but now Simpson is a good ball to Boris, but there's a poor touch from Boris as Nsoatreman will take over. It's Maida. It's a counter-attack that can result in a second goal. Kwame Edu Maida, does he score? He sets up Rahman, but that's some good defending from Odro to deny Nsoatreman. Kwame Edu Maida decided to be unselfish. Good run from the winger. He had Rahman in the middle. The goalkeeper at his mercy. He tries to set up Rahman. He could have gone for goal, but Odro arrived at the right time. Abdul Karim to Nafiu Sulemana, heads it down for Aqua, tries to get to Nafiu again down the right side. Nafiu sends in a cross, but Afaju with some sharp. Kunedu Ajiman tries to find Rahman. He's up against Simpson. Here is Rahman. He has set the first goal, and he scored a brilliant goal from nowhere. Abdul Rahman makes it 2-0 for Nsoatreman. The idea was about crossing the ball, but he ended up putting great thinking. Was he aiming to score, or he was aiming to cross? I think he was aiming to cross. He ended up in the goal, but he wouldn't mind. It's a fine goal in the end. And Nsoatreman doubled their lead through Abdul Rahman. He scored a hat-trick yesterday, and he scored from the near post. Kofi Mensah should be doing better. So the goalkeeper had come out of his line. He spotted him, but he should be doing better from the near post, Kofi Mensah. 2-0. Tempted to drift into the midfield and pick up the balls, but it's also not working. But here goes DU. Tracking him is Odro. It's DU. He cuts Odro out. DU brings the ball back. He went down, but it was a fair challenge in the end. And a throw-in did not happen for Nsoatreman. It is still DU. Shaibu Idrisu, poor touch, throw-in. Shaibu Idrisu's cross nearly found the back of the net. Aka, who arrived at the near post with a tap. TV and Gringo TV is the 2024 Nsenkyire Cup. Nations India. They made changes at left and right back. Here is Daniel Amu. Shaibu Idrisu. Kofi Mensah finds Asante Boahen. Here is Abdul Karim. He gives the ball away. Now Abdul Rahman drives one and Mensah deals with it. Good instinct from the striker Rahman. Mensah's ball headed back by Shaibu Idrisu. Here is DU, finds Rahman, trying to get back to DU. DU with a cross, and it's the first goal. It's a beautiful goal. And Nsoatreman have jumped into the lead Nations FC by 1 goal. Goal scored by Michael Aka. Look at the build-up. Good thinking from Rahman to set up DU. DU with a brilliant cutback, and Nations failing to deal with the run of Michael Aka, and they are in the lead. And Nsoatreman jump into the lead. Good play from DU and Rahman. Great understanding, the cutback, the awareness, the tap in. 1-0 in Nsoatreman. Lovely control from DU to begin with. Great composure from Rahman and the presence of mind to bring it back for Michael Aka. Now Stephen DU turns around and finds Shaibu Idrisu. Idrisu with a cross, but there's nobody for Nations. But eventually Maida pops up on the left. Here is Maida. He's up against Kwame Boache. Goes back to Kunedu Ajiman, who swings in a cross. And DU heads it down. Rahman is getting there, but now Simpson is a good ball to Boris, but there's a poor touch from Boris as Nsoatreman will take over. It's Maida. It's a counter-attack that can result in a second goal. Kwabena Edu Maida, does he score? He sets up Rahman, but that's some good defending from Odro to deny Nsoatreman. Kwabena Edu Maida decided to be unselfish. Good run from the winger. He had Rahman in the middle. The goalkeeper is Messi. He tries to set up Rahman. He could have gone for goal, but Odro arrived at the right time. Abdul Karim to Nafiu Sulemana, heads it down for Aqua, tries to get to Nafiu again down the right side. Nafiu sends in a cross, but Afaju with some shabri. Kunedu Ajiman tries to find Rahman. He's up against Simpson. Here is Rahman. He has set the first goal, and he scored a brilliant goal from nowhere. Abdul Rahman makes it 2-0 for Nsoatreman. The idea was about crossing the ball, but he ended up putting great thinking. Was he aiming to score or he was aiming to cross? I think he was aiming to cross. He ended up in the goal, but he won't mind. It's a fine goal in the end. And Nsoatreman doubled their lead through Abdul Rahman. He scored a hat-trick yesterday, and he scored from the near post. Kofi Mensah should be doing better. So the goalkeeper had come out of his line. He spotted him, but he should be doing better from the near post, Kofi Mensah. 2-0. Tempted to drift into the midfield and pick up the balls, but it's also not working. But here goes DU. Tracking him is Odro. It's DU. He cuts Odro out. DU brings the ball back. He went down, but it was a fair challenge in the end. And a throw-in did not happen for Nsoatreman. It is still DU. Shaibu Idrisu, poor touch, throw-in. Shaibu Idrisu's cross nearly found the back of the net. Aka, who arrived at the near post with a tap. TV and Gringo TV is the 2024 Nsenkyire Cup. Nations India. They made changes at left and right back.